Welcome everybody to today's edition of Mexico News Network, The Travel Insider. My name is Sofia Rattinger and joining me is financial analyst Elliot Bullman. Mr. Elliot Bullman, how are you?
I'm very well, Sofia, and you?
Fine, thank you.
Great, and hello everybody, welcome to today's show. We've got some great news coming up here today, but before we start, remember to check out all our social networks, Facebook, Twitter and Google+, and catch us daily by logging on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for relevant stories and news. Let's start with today's show.
There's a growing population of travelers that have become more interested in the various cuisines and cultures from countries all over the world and are planning vacations specifically to incorporate culinary trips. Culinary tours, food and wine events, and foodie competitions give travelers a chance to visit a new destination and sample local or regional cuisine. Whether the trip involves an opportunity to learn new cooking techniques or attend food and wine tastings, a culinary adventure can be a welcome change from the standard travel itinerary.
As stated by the International Culinary Tourism Association, culinary tourism is growing exponentially every year. With the steady increase in interest of food channels, travel shows featuring local and regional cuisine, food documentaries and online culinary travel shows, more consumers are traveling to various destinations just to enjoy a new food and wine experience. According to the American Culinary Traveler, the percentage of US travelers who travel to learn about unique dining experiences grew from 40% to 51% between 2006 and 2013.
And while many cities, regions, or countries are known for their food, culinary tourism is not limited by food culture. Every tourist eats at least 3 times a day, making food one of the fundamental economic drivers of tourism. Countries like Ireland, the Philippines, and Canada are making significant investment in culinary tourism development and are seeing results, with visitors spending and overnight stays rising as a result of food tourism promotion and product development.
This is big business. In 2012, it was estimated that tourism expenditures on food services in the US topped $201 billion, nearly a quarter of all travel income. That makes food service the highest category of travel spend, according to the University of Florida report, A Flash of Culinary Tourism. The report estimates that 39 million US leisure travelers chose a destination based on the availability of culinary activities, while another 35 million seek out culinary activities after a destination is decided upon.
And we are talking about food. The perfect example, I think, it is Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of these culinary tours cropping up, especially around the southeast. I think in Puerto Morelos, you've got the Little Mexican Cookery School.
Yes.
Loads of reviews on TripAdvisor. And so, yeah, people are flocking to Mexico because, I mean, it's got such a diversity of food, right?
Diversity of animals and ecosystems, and also food. And you're talking about Puerto Morelos, this restaurant, La Panza es Primero.
Oh,
the belly comes first.
Yeah.
This is a Mexican restaurant, and they have a really good food. Have you tried one?
Yeah, I've been there many times and recommended it. And yeah, I mean, you come away with a really authentic experience, and you get to meet the owners, right? And then they teach you how they make it all. So it's great.
And all the things that you have in the walls painted, and they have riddles in the walls, and it's really
unique. Yeah.
But culinary tourism is important not only for the income it represents, but also as a means to preserve culture and tradition. UNESCO has a list of 38 elements which are part of its intangible cultural heritage for safeguarding.
Instituted in 2009, this has an eclectic mix of different cultural elements, including dance, music, crafting and food. Amongst the gastronomic elements in this list, we can find the gastronomic meal of the French, the washoku, roughly translated to Japanese cuisine, the Turkish coffee culture, Croatian gingerbread making, the Mediterranean diet, and of course, Mexican cuisine.
Oh yeah, yes, all of these items are perfect examples of the connection between history, culture, tradition, and food. Mexican cuisine is an important aspect of the culture, social structure, and popular traditions of Mexico.
Mexican cuisine is elaborate and often tied to symbolism and festivals. One reason it was named as an example of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO.
Many of these dishes of Mexico are complicated because of their relation to the social structure of the country. Food preparation, especially for family and social events, is considered to be an investment in order to maintain social relationships. Oh yeah.
Even the idea of flavor is considered to be social, with meals prepared for certain dinners and certain occasions when they're considered to be the tastiest. The most important example of this connection is the use of mole for special occasions and holidays, particularly in the south and center regions of the country. Well, mole. Now we're onto a subject here. There's so many varieties of that, and since I've lived here, it's become my absolute favorite.
Yeah, and when you say I have this meeting in my at home and all things, they ask, what are you cooking?
Yeah.
Yes, it is a very important thing. The food in all the, especially here in Mexico, when you have a special day, Christmas, Dia de Muertos.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it in English.
Day of the Dead, right?
Day of the Dead.
Halloween.
And Halloween, no. Dia de Muertos in Mexico, Elliot. However, as everything else in this world, Mexican gastronomy is constantly evolving. Contemporary chefs are continually developing Mexican culinary identity, incorporating ingredients and cooking styles from all over the world in a cosmopolitan fusion.
In Mexico City, the range of foods on offer is not limited by the Mexican or Mexican fusion traditions. The historic center and the districts of Polanco, Roma, Condesa, and Tlalpan are home to restaurants boasting a truly international gastronomy. So much so that some of the best restaurants worldwide happen to be in Mexico City, according to the widely renowned St. Pellegrino's 50 Best Restaurants ranking.
Number 12 worldwide and number 6 in Latin America is Quintonil. A key feature is the restaurant's urban orchard where much of Quintonil's ingredients are grown. Co-owner and chef Jorge Vallejo highlights the value of fruit and vegetables through his cooking, with twists on traditional Mexican dishes such as chilcayotes in homemade mole and guasontles with cheese from Chiapas and nopal cactus snow.
Wow. The 25th best restaurant in the whole globe is Pujol. Here you will find high-end Mexican food remastered under the guidance of the country's premier contemporary chef, Enrique Olvera. This mecca of taste opened in Polanco back in 2000, when chef-owner Olvera was just 24. Pujol developed a stellar reputation on the back of its reinterpretation of popular national dishes. In recent years, Olvera and head chef Eric Guerrero have switched focus to experiment with age-old ingredients and techniques to create entirely original dishes.
Oh yes, he does truly a magnificent work, not only culinary-wise, but also representing Mexican culture internationally. Did you know Olvera owns a number of more casual restaurants and cafes in Mexico City? But last year also saw the opening of Cosme, bringing contemporary Mexican food to New York City.
Wow, and last but not least, and my first personal favorite, if I might add, is Bico. The fantastic avant-garde place has earned the 10th place in Latin America's best restaurants ranking. And it surely comes as no surprise. A meeting of minds and cultures, Bico is the creation of Basque chefs Miguel Alonso and Bruno Oteiza, who skillfully blend flavors from their homeland with Mexican ingredients. The cutting-edge technique of fellow Spanish chef Gerard Belver, influenced by his time at El Bulli, adds another layer of complexity to the restaurant's highly original formula. Think foie gras, candy floss, or prawns accompanied by a powder made from their heads. Truly amazing.
So we have now a lot of options to visit if you go to Mexico City.
Yeah, I really didn't understand quite how now all these top restaurants are making it internationally. They're really celebrated. It's quite amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, this was all for today. Thank you, Elliot. Thank you for staying with us. My name is Sofia Rattinger.
And I'm Elliot Bullman. Thanks for joining us, and keep tuned with our social networks, Facebook, Twitter and Google+, and stay with us on MexicoNewsNetwork.com for relevant stories and news. Until next time.